Hi, I'm Sam Greenfield, and I have a question. Are you old enough to remember what happened on the night of April 4th, 1968? I was living in Washington, D.C., my hometown. I was working at a Safeway supermarket on Mount Pleasant Street in the Mount Pleasant area of D.C. And all of a sudden, someone came up and said that Dr. Martin Luther King had been murdered, had been shot. And it just kind of took my breath away because it was 5 years since President Kennedy had been assassinated, and I couldn't imagine that another person so iconic, so beloved, so admired, so selfless could be dead by someone's violent hand. And there were riots, and the riots were nonsensical to me because there's a difference between people who are filled with rage and people who are looking to steal. And I remember that there was a department store in D.C., Morton's, and it was owned by a Jewish man who was, I believe, was the first owner of a department store to employ black people. He integrated his stores very early on, and his store was burned to the ground. So if you are filled with rage and you burn a cop car or you throw rocks, I'm not a favor of it, but it happens. But when you steal things, don't give me this thing about that's part of your rage. You're a thief, okay? You're stealing, okay? Oh, I'm so angry that Dr. King is dead, I'm going to take this TV. No. Tell me how that honors him. It doesn't. And now we have this man, Floyd George, who was murdered by a cop. And three other cops, it seems to me. And people are once again exacting their rage. And how does Donald Trump respond? The people who are protesting in front of the White House, he says, the Secret Service is itching to get at them. Let me explain something to this idiot. The Secret Service isn't itching to do violence to anybody. The Secret Service's job is to protect the President of the United States and any other elected public official, or any official who they're designated to protect. That's their job. They're not itching to pull out a gun. And when Trump says, oh, I've never seen weapons this big, well, who cares? Who cares what the hell you've seen? You have no idea what you're talking about. And they've got vicious dogs. See, maybe Trump is confused because he's a Nazi sympathizer, that he thinks that this is, the SS with big Doberman pinchers about to bite the head off of a Jew. Maybe that's what he thinks is going on. But that's not what the Secret Service does. Their job is to protect, not to attack. But do you remember when you were in elementary school and two kids were going to get in a fight after school, and they're kind of standing there with other kids standing around them, and they really don't want to fight, and there's always one punk behind them going, hey, he said something about your mother. Hey, are you a man? Well, that's Trump. Trump is that punk. Trump never fights his own fights. Trump gets other people to fight his fights. And if you think Trump gives a damn about a black person's death, you're nuts. Okay, Mr. George's brother said he just talked real fast. Hey, I'm real sorry about what happened to your brother. Wouldn't let him talk, wouldn't share any grief with him. And when these kind of things happen, I always go to WWOS. What would Obama say? Obama would have visited that family, the George family. Obama would have made a speech to the country in prime time, asking people to remain calm. Obama probably, or maybe Biden, would have visited Minneapolis. By the way, Biden called the family, okay, and spoke to them at length. Trump spoke to them like, listen, I'd like to talk longer, but I have to take a leak, and would run away. Remember when Aretha Franklin died? Do you remember what Trump's comment was about one of the most iconic entertainers in my lifetime? Oh yeah, she worked for me once. That was his comment about Aretha Franklin. So when Joe Biden says something, which was clumsy, about if you're voting for Biden, you ain't black, you know what he means. You do. I'm Sam Greenfield. You can go to my YouTube channel, Sam Greenfield Has Questions. Subscribe. It's free. Have a great day, stay well, and wash your hands.